Good afternoon, everybody. I call to order this hearing of the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Immigration, Citizenship, and Border Safety. This hearing will come to order, and I do thank you all for joining us today. This is a hearing to explore some critical and timely issues, and I want to start by thanking our ranking member, Senator Cornyn, and his staff for once again working so collaboratively with me and my team in putting this hearing together. That's not always a given around here. So I want to make sure, Senator Cornyn, you know how much I appreciate your partnership, both on this subcommittee and in our other work together. Now, we're here today to examine the challenges that many immigrants face in seeking lawful permanent resident status. For more than 200 years, people have come to the United States from around the world to seek refuge, pursue opportunity, and live the American dream. And for generations, the dreams and hard work of immigrants have fueled our economy, sparked groundbreaking scientific discoveries, enhanced our national security, and strengthened our communities. That's why Congress has routinely created pathways for people around the world to live and work in this country and to bring their families along with them. But the immigration system that Congress designed to achieve those critical goals has failed to keep up with our needs in the 21st century. In this hearing, we'll hear testimony on barriers to legal migration that routinely separate families across international borders for years. Visa caps that keep employers from expanding their businesses and hold back the U.S. economy, and arbitrary cutoffs for legal status that force children of visa holders to leave the only country they've ever known when they age out of their parents' visas. The gap between our country's needs and the realities of our broken immigration system should come as no surprise. After all, Congress hasn't passed a significant update to our immigration policy in more than 3 decades. Think about that. We're still relying on an immigration framework that was last overhauled before the launch of the World Wide Web. And this has had devastating consequences for hardworking families and for the economy. Currently, there's a backlog of 1.4 million people who are eligible for employment-based visas. Employment-based visas allow participating immigrants to bring extraordinary skills to our workforce, start new businesses, create new jobs in rural areas, and to help address worker shortages in industries like healthcare. But only 140,000 of these individuals can obtain visas every year. And because the spouses and children who accompany them count against a total, far fewer than 70,000 visas actually go to eligible workers. Hundreds of thousands of others are left in limbo, restricted by a temporary visa, or turned away from their dreams, and they're kept from realizing their potential. Our immigration laws also cause years of delay for millions of family members who are otherwise eligible to join their relatives in the United States. The annual cap on family-based visas is far lower than global demand, with about 7.7 million people stuck in our backlog. That means millions of parents and children, sisters and brothers, and married couples face years or even decades of separation. Wait times are further exacerbated by strict limits on how many visas can go to an individual country. And the term wait time, for many, is actually a cruel misnomer. For applicants from some countries, the wait time is literally longer than any human's life expectancy. It's past time to update our immigration laws to reflect the current needs of our nation. I thank my colleagues who are leading common sense bills to address these unnecessary barriers to legal migration. For instance, Senator Durbin, chair of the Judiciary Committee, has the Relief Act, which would increase the availability of visas to reunite families. Senator Menendez's U.S. Citizenship Act would eliminate per-country caps, increase the number of green cards through the diversity visa program, and recapture millions of previously unused visas to reduce green card backlogs. Representative Lofgren's Like Act would create a pathway for immigrant entrepreneurs to strengthen our economy. And I worked across the aisle with Senator Paul to introduce the America's Children Act, which would create green card opportunities for children who grew up in the United States but are now aging out of their parents' temporary visas. The stakes of this work could not be higher. Professor Stephen Legomsky is joining us today to testify about how our outdated immigration laws are harming our communities and our economy. Mr. Melmed will focus on barriers to skills-based migration. And Atulya Rajakumar, a documented dreamer and aspiring journalist, is here to share the story of her family's struggle through years of immigration limbo, which contributed to her brother's tragic death. Atulya, my heart goes out to you and your family, and I appreciate you being here and sharing your story. Now, I'm outraged by this broken system that you, your brother, and thousands of documented dreamers have had to face. We organized this hearing today because we cannot allow the inaction of Congress to continue to cause this suffering. The United States was founded as a nation of immigrants, and it's time to honor that spirit once again. And I know I'm here to put in the work. I'm ready to have constructive, productive conversations with our Republican colleagues. These issues need to be more than just be bipartisan in spirit. We must act. We must fix this outdated system. And I know we can do it if we work together. And now I want to recognize Ranking Member Cornyn for his opening remarks before we get to our witnesses and the balance of today's hearing. Senator Cornyn.